For me, I guess you definitely want to put Chris Gayle in there, because ever since he's come into the team, and so there's two effects. One is just, there's a placebo effect as well. There's a, oh my God, he's going to come. But secondly, he's had the positive influence, right? So he may not have had, the big flashy 100 so far. And you may not remember him hitting 26s in one game, but he has made a contribution in every game. And it's about, and if T20 cricket is about micro events like we always talk about, I think that Delhi chase, that one over from Tushar Deshpande sends him for, I think, 27, 28 runs or some such. And a 160 chase suddenly is just like, one sec, it's over. In the fifth over, you're like, all right, now we're just going to walk in the park and get it done easily. So that's the kind of effect he has, right? He has the effect of, he can turn that big truck of a T20 game on a pin.
Yeah, and look, it's one thing to think of a Chris Gayle of long ago. My concern when he came into the side, it was, where does he bat? Can he adjust to batting number 3? And if he comes in and he has to bat number 3 and there's 60 on the board, it's not the same as what he does normally, which is walk out there, it's opening, the guys are in, and he can just, and it'll go for 4, because he just has to get half a bat on it and play with some sort of intent, and he'll get boundaries and get himself out of trouble in terms of balls faced and no runs taken, no running singles and all of that. But he's done it beautifully. He really has done it well, has read every situation and has done what was required. In the last game that he played, actually, that 51 of 29 or whatever it was, with Mandeep Singh having started off struggling, he was struggling. It looked, with the wicket having fallen, that, what's going to happen here? Can Chris Gayle take pressure off Mandeep Singh? And he did exactly that. Yes, Mandeep ended up with 55, played beautifully and all the rest. But without the way Chris Gayle played, they would have been in more trouble. And in effect, he just ended the game and let this guy, who was having a wonderful day as it turned out, special as it turned out in the end because of all that surrounds it. Yeah, I got to give him credit. Got to give him a lot of credit for how he's gone.
I want to ask Captain one thing. I want to ask you one thing, Captain, is that Chris Gayle, this is happening last few seasons, right? You leave him out of a few games and then he just hits the ground running. We have a stat which says that whenever he plays his first game, he's just brilliant. Is there, I think I remember reading this with Mike Brearley and Ian Botham, how you used to wind him up perhaps and get the best out of him, but you just wind somebody up by making them feel initially that they're not that important to the plan, right? And then they just come in, and that's the kind of personality that just comes in and says, I'm just going to destroy everything now. Have you as a captain ever seen that with any of your team? We just had to it would pay off really well if you just wound them up a little bit up front.
Yeah, I mean, it's the part, the art of man management is knowing who you can prod and who you can't, who needs an arm around the shoulder. Most recently, I'll be the first to admit that I've written some things about Stuart Broad to wind him up. That's, of a modern player, I just think he's a wonderful bowler, magnificent player for England. But every now and again, I just think a prod and maybe a little bit of sprinkling on the cake. You add a few more kind of ingredients just to prod in that little bit more so. I've certainly not taken any credit for the way that he performs, but I have definitely sharpened the pencil that little bit more so to someone like Stuart Broad in the last 10 years of any player, because I know that he's got the game and the ability to react and perform positively. Of course you need to do that to certain individuals and players. Chris Gayle, I don't think we give him enough credit for how good a player he is.
Yeah.
Because of his because he's a fun-loving, jovial, social media, takes the mick out of most things. He does some incredibly strange things at times. I don't think we as pundits and people in the game, I don't think we actually talk enough about how great a batsman he is. Yeah. If you look at his numbers of what he's delivered in Test match cricket, if you go back to his Test days, he's a wonderful Test match batsman. And then you take
100 Test matches. I mean, it's no joke.
You take it to the 50 game, the T20 game, whether he bats 1, 2, or 3. Now he's batting at 3 as a 41-year-old. And as Pommy mentioned, he is reading the situation, as you would expect a player of his experience to do so. But I just don't think we give him enough credit of how great a batsman he is.
I remember, if you go back in time.
I just wanted to, sorry, you mentioned his tests, so I just wanted to say that here. 103 test matches. I got the Crickbuzz app open. 7,200 runs. The highest, of course, as we know, is 333. 43, 42, 43 average. There's how many hundreds? 1,500s. I mean, this is test match. We're not even talking about T20s. This is test match cricket.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Sorry, Pommy, you were saying.
Hasn't he got 2 triples? I'm just guessing. He might have, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's got 2 triples. And if you go back in time to when Chris starts in IPL, when West Indies having all trouble about people aren't committed enough to test match cricket and all of this, and some people murmuring about why is everyone fussing about 2020? He was the one out there taking all the hits for many people, where you're saying, no, this is the game of the future and I'm here to play it and I'm good at it and I'll show you I'm good at it. And here we are, what is it now? 13, 14, 15 years later.
40 years later.
You know what I mean? Here we are, and this is still going. It's still going well. And he's still here.
Yes.
He's still here. And he's still here and delivering. That's incredible.